All right, you lot. Let's cut the crap and dive headfirst into some quality telly. We're talking Gavin and Stacey today, but not the surface level bullshit.
No, no, no.
We're going deeper. Yeah.
Deeper. Yeah, much deeper. Like, think Gavin and Stacey after a few pints down on Dog and Bastard.
Exactly. Like Gavin and Stacey on crack. We're using Wikipedia as our source.
But don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll sift through the boring bits and just give you the good shit.
Yeah, the stuff that'll make you the most smug bastard at the pub quiz.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So Gavin and Stacey, this hilarious British sitcom, right? Two families.
Two families, yeah.
One from Essex, the other from bloody Wales.
Opposite ends of the country.
And their lives get all tangled up when they're kids.
Gavin and Stacey.
Gavin and Stacey fall head over heels and get hitched.
Yeah, classic culture clash comedy in it. But what makes Gavin and Stacey so bloody brilliant is that it goes beyond those cheap gags, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And it really digs into like the real messy bits of family and love and all the bollocks that comes with it.
And you've got those characters, man.
Oh, the characters are just
They're iconic.
iconic.
So relatable.
Oh my God, so relatable.
You've got Gavin, the awkward Essex lad, trying to figure out this whole new world.
Yeah,
Then you've got Stacey, the Welsh sweetheart with a heart of gold.
yeah.
And how can we forget the bloody dynamic duo,
Smithy and Nessa.
Smithy and Nessa, Gavin's foul-mouthed best mate, and Stacey's chain-smoking, no-bullshit best mate.
I mean, those two deserve their own bloody spin-off.
They so do.
They absolutely do.
The show is just jam-packed with these larger-than-life characters,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But what's really amazing is how the writers make them feel so real.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they have these small everyday moments, like Pam's obsession with Gavin,
Oh,
or
yeah.
Bryn's just hilariously awkward attempts at being helpful. It's those little details
It's those little details.
that make you feel like you actually know these people.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, who can forget Pam's fake vegetarianism?
Oh my God.
That shit had me in stitches.
But speaking of those little details,
Yeah.
didn't the writers sneak in some seriously dark humor with the characters' last names?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They snuck in the names of some of the UK's most notorious serial killers.
What?
Shipman West Sutcliffe. Apparently they hoped people wouldn't notice at first, you know?
Really?
Yeah, it adds this, like, subtle layer of dark humor.
For those who caught on,
Yeah.
those sneaky bastards. See, you wouldn't catch that just watching this show. It's those little things that make you appreciate the writer's twisted, bloody genius.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, that attention to detail
Yeah.
is part of what made the show such a massive success. We're talking BAFTA's broken viewing records, even a bloody tourism boom in Barry Island,
Barry Island.
where they filmed a lot of it.
If you haven't been to Barry Island,
Go.
add it to your bucket list. You might even bump into Nessa working the slots down the arcade.
Oh, yeah.
Or knowing her, she's probably running the whole damn place by now.
Probably the mayor, with Smithy as her right-hand man, just causing chaos in the council chamber. Oh, God, I can imagine. But let's get back to the show's impact.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just a hit in the UK. There were a bunch of attempts to adapt Gavin and Stacey for American audiences.
Oh, God, yeah.
Thank fuck those attempts crashed and burned harder than Smithy after a night on the piss. Can you imagine those Hollywood asshats trying to capture the magic of a Barry Island Christmas dinner? Talk about a recipe for disaster.
Oh, it would be a disaster. It just wouldn't work. It's so quintessentially British.
So British.
You know,
Yeah.
it's so rooted in that specific culture and humor.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so special.
Exactly.
But look, before we get lost in some philosophical wank fest about British humor,
Yeah.
let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
The Christmas specials.
Christmas special.
Specifically that 2019 special.
Oh, yeah.
And that cliffhanger ending
Oh, God.
that left us all screaming, what the fuck? At our tellies.
You mean Nessa's shocking proposal to Smithy? The one just as everyone's about to tuck into their Christmas pudding? Genius. Pure genius. Talk about leaving us hanging. We had to wait years for that final Christmas special in 2024 to find out what happened.
Oh, the agony.
Pure agony.
Oh, mate, those were some dark days waiting for that final special.
I know, right?
The internet was just full of theories and speculation and enough fan fiction to make your head spin.
Everyone had an opinion on whether Smithy would say yes.
Oh, yeah.
What would it mean for Gavin and Stacey? The whole bloody lot.
Everyone.
It was like the entire country was holding its breath, waiting for that final episode to drop.
It was mental.
And when it finally did in 2024, it was like the second coming of Christ.
It really was.
Everyone was glued to their screens, desperate to know what the hell was going to happen.
So let's break down that Christmas chaos.
Yeah.
The episode picks up right where the 2019 special left off.
Right.
Everyone's crammed into Gren's house for Christmas dinner, but the festive cheer is about as thin as Pam's gravy.
Oh, the tension was thicker than Bryn's Christmas cake, and about as sweet. You could practically smell the awkwardness wafting off Smithy.
Oh, he's completely shell-shocked, obviously.
Yeah.
Nessa's chain-smoking away, acting like she doesn't give a toss.
Right.
But you can tell she's dying inside.
Oh, yeah.
And poor Gavin and Stacey are stuck in the middle, trying to keep the peace while also dealing with their own relationship struggles.
It was classic Gavin and Stacey chaos, but amped up to 11.
Oh, yeah.
So spill the beans. Did Smithy crumble under the pressure? Did he do the right thing and leg it back to Essex?
He did what any sane bloke would do in that situation. He vanished into thin air,
No.
leaving Nessa standing there with a ring and a face like a bulldog chewing a wasp.
Brutal. I bet she was ready to chuck him in the Bristol Channel.
Well, she probably was.
Did he ever crawl back?
Eventually, yeah. After a lot of soul-searching, a pep talk from Gavin, and probably a few pints down the local to calm his nerves,
Right.
Smicky realized he couldn't keep running away from his feelings.
Oh.
He went back to Gammy. Gwen's got down on one knee and told Nessa.
Spit it out. Did he say yes? Did those crazy kids finally get their happily ever after?
He didn't just say yes, he poured his heart out.
Oh.
He told her he loved her, that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her, Neil, and their unborn baby. The whole 9 yards.
No way. So he actually manned up and went for it. Color me shocked.
The place went mental. Tears, cheers, hugs all around. Even Pam cracked a smile.
Wow.
Which is saying something.
Oh, right. All right, so we've got Nessa and Smithy riding off into the sunset, ready to start their new life together. But what about Gavin and Stacey? How did they handle this whole bombshell?
Well, it's never straightforward with those two, is it?
No.
They were happy for Smithy and Nessa, of course, but there was definitely a sense of uneasiness in the air.
Yeah, it's got to be weird, right? Your best friends suddenly become your in-laws. That's a whole new level of family drama.
Exactly. And then just when you think things couldn't get any more complicated,
Right.
the episode ends with Gavin and Stacey having a heart-to-heart on Barry Island looking out at the sea.
Don't tell me another cliffhanger. Those bastards wouldn't leave us hanging again, would they?
No, it wasn't quite a cliffhanger, but it definitely left us with a lot to think about.
Okay.
Stacey drops a bomb of her own.
Oh, God.
She tells Gavin she's pregnant.
No shit. So they're having another baby. Talk about a recipe for disaster.
As the camera pans out, you see Gavin and Stacey standing there hand in hand with the sun setting behind them.
Right.
It's a beautiful, hopeful image,
Yeah.
but there's definitely a sense of uncertainty hanging in the air.
Right, because now they're not just dealing with their own relationship. They've got a new baby on the way, and Smithy and Nessa are officially part of the family.
It's a lot.
It's like all hell is about to break loose.
The episode ends with this lingering question. Are they going to make it? Can their relationship survive all this upheaval?
It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Do they stay together and fight for their love, or do they crumble under the pressure?
We get a few hints about what happens to the rest of the gang.
Okay.
Bryn's still his lovable, eccentric self, whipping up culinary disasters in the kitchen.
Oh.
Pam and Mick are coming to terms with the idea of having a Welsh grandchild, even if they still haven't quite figured out how to pronounce the kid's name.
And what about Dawn and Pete? Surely they haven't killed each other yet.
Surprisingly, they're actually doing all right. They've somehow managed to find a way to communicate without wanting to throttle each other.
Well, I'll be damned. Maybe there's hope for humanity after all.
I mean, it wouldn't be Gavin and Stacey without a bit of chaos, would it?
Chaos is their middle name, mate. But let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
Talk about the show's legacy. It's insane how this bloody show
Yeah.
has impacted popular culture.
Yeah.
I mean, people still chuck those quotes around like confetti.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What's occurring? Oh, my Christ, tidy. They're practically ingrained in the British psyche.
And don't even get me started on those Christmas specials.
Oh, God.
Legendary, mate.
Legendary.
Pure unadulterated television gold.
They really nailed that balance of humor and heart. You'd be crying with laughter 1 minute,
Yeah.
and reaching for the tissues the next.
It's like they knew exactly how to push our buttons.
Yeah.
Those crafty bastards.
Yeah.
But we've reached the end of our Gavin and Stacey Dink Dive.
Sad times.
I know. But let's leave our listener with a little something to ponder, eh? Something to really chew on.
All right, hit me with it.
Remember that final scene in the 2024 Christmas special?
Yeah.
Gavin and Stacey standing on Barry Island, staring out at the sea,
Right.
with this whole heap of uncertainty hanging over their heads.
Yeah.
Stacey's pregnant Smithy and Nessa are about to become their in-laws.
Yeah?
And the relationship is already stretched thinner than Bryn's homemade pasta. So here's the million-dollar question.
Okay.
Do you think Gavin and Stacey actually make it?
Ooh.
Do they stay together?
That is the question.
Or does all that shit eventually drive them apart?
I mean, it's a tough one to call.
Yeah.
They've been through a lot together, you know?
Yeah.
The long-distance thing, the crazy families, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
They've proven that their love can survive some pretty intense shitstorms.
Yeah. But this is different, right? It's like they've reached a whole new level of complicated. They're not just dealing with their own issues anymore. They've got this Smithy and Nessa-shaped grenade about to explode in their lives.
Yeah, true.
Now, let's be honest, those two aren't exactly known for their stability.
They could throw a serious wrench in the works. And let's not forget the added pressure of another baby on the way. That's a lot for any couple to handle, even without the added drama.
It's a proper head-scratcher, isn't it? Do they defy the odds and make it work, or do they eventually call it quits, heartbroken, but ultimately better off?
I guess we'll never know for sure.
No,
But that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
I guess so.
Gavin and Stacey leaves us with this question that lingers long after the credits roll. It makes us think about the complexities of love family and all the messy stuff that comes with it.
Beautifully put. All right, you magnificent bastards, that wraps up our Gavin and Stacey deep dive.
That's it.
We've laughed.
We have.
We've cried.
We've
dissected every detail of this iconic sitcom, like a couple of drunken surgeons.
Absolutely.
You're now officially armed with enough Gavin and Stacey knowledge to dominate any pub quiz.
Oh, yeah.
Impress your mates, and maybe even write your own bloody fan fiction.
Go for it.
But remember, this is just the beginning of your Gavin and Stacey journey. There's a whole world of hilarious moments, heartwarming scenes, and quotable lines waiting to be discovered.
Get on it.
So go forth, rewatch those classic episodes, and immerse yourselves in the glorious world of Gavin and Stacey.
Do it.
And until next time, keep on diving deep, you beautiful souls.